Holy smokes, guys. NIO stock is squeezing. Wow, wow, wow. Pre-market, $5.6 per share. Absolutely amazing. It's up a lot, guys. It's up so much. And this is just the start. I mean, like, I'll share some interesting stats with you guys and also tell you why this is just the beginning. So some things to blow your mind with. So at certain cities, we're seeing orders grow to record numbers. So for example, in Nanjing, which is a pretty big city, they've gotten 1,000 plus orders in April. And some of these will be delivered in May, all right? So we can expect good deliveries going forward. Also, they have a bunch of auto shows happening, like 20, all right? We talked about that. So there's going to be very good deliveries going forward. Also, for Nanjing, they had 157% year-over-year growth in deliveries, 53% month-over-month growth in deliveries, and 90% of the customers choose BaaS. It just shows you how nice this new BaaS policy is. So wow, this is absolutely amazing. Some other shocking statistic, and this really shows the scope and size of this company. And this is something that people are not valuing in that well. So in the past 1 hour, all right, and this was shared about 20 hours ago, NIO has cumulatively done 43,183,090 swaps. In the past 1 hour, 6,197 swaps in 1 hour. That equates to about 103 swaps per minute. Wow. Basically one swap every second. There's a swap going on now. There's a swap going on again. Top 3 cities, Shanghai, 537 in 1 hour. Beijing, 253 in 1 hour. Hangzhou, 215 in 1 hour. The stats for the past 24 hours, more interesting, 98,502 swaps in 24 hours. So we're approaching 100,000 swaps per day. 68 swaps per minute on average. The top 3, Shanghai saw 8,861 swaps. Beijing saw 5,013 swaps. Hangzhou saw 3,473 swaps in just 1 day. This is absolutely tremendous. And remember, if they jack up the price of swap by a little bit, that's huge profit, all right? And wow, absolutely amazing. And guys, the short squeeze is just getting started. And some of you guys might say the short interest is very low, but this is very misleading. In fact, every day there are short sellers pouncing in on the stock. The short interest is just a sort of a snapshot of how many shorts there are at that certain period of time. So before that, there might be a lot of people short, and then the next day they covered, and then they took that snapshot, and then they tell you, oh, there's only a little bit of shorts. So there's actually shorts every day pouncing on. And if you look at some of the data, sometimes there's over 50% of the daily volume being shorted. All right. So it just tells you that shorts are pouncing in. And this is more fuel to the fire, guys. Everybody that shorted below $4 a share is royally screwed, and they had to cover yesterday or the day before. Everybody that shorted under $5 a share is also royally screwed, and they had to cover yesterday. Everybody that shorted yesterday is royally screwed today. You see the pattern here? All right. Guys that short yesterday is fuel for the short squeeze today. Guys that short today is fuel for the short squeeze tomorrow. So this is why things are not just so black and white. It's not just like, oh, short squeeze, it's over. No. And short interest is low, there's no short squeeze. No, it's not like that. It's much more complicated, guys. Just like when a stock goes down, all right? When NIO stock was going down, what happened? As the price got lower, people got margin called, forced to sell their stock, pushing the price down even lower. Other people got margin called, so everything gets exacerbated. all right? And then it goes to a critical point where it's so oversold and everybody's been just margin called out, and it becomes way too low, and that selling is essentially over, all right? And then you turn around, the same thing works when it's going up. It's not just one and done. It's not like consolidating. It goes up, right? And then people that shorted get margin called. They got to cover. They got to buy. Also, you got momentum traders hopping in. You also got the FOMO boys hopping in, a fear of missing out. That brings the stock price even higher. And then more margin call, more FOMO, more momentum guys come in, brings the stock price higher. And everybody that shorted the stock yesterday is covering today. There's it's just a self-perpetuating thing. It just keeps on pushing itself higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. All right, and it gets more enthusiasm. It gets more interest in people. The shorts, people that bought that shorted under 4 are screwed. People that shorted under 5 are screwed. Very soon, people that shorted under 6 are screwed as well. They're also going to be covering, and that encompasses a huge amount of people. And then they have to cover as well. So that's just more buying pressure to send the stock even higher. And longs aren't really selling unless it's like people that are desperate to get out of the stock. I mean, longs are just holding it for the long run, and you're seeing this happen, right? You hold, if you sell it today, tomorrow you might be up 10-20%. Well, you want to miss out on that 10-20%? Or you going to like hang in there, right? So it's that kind of situation where longs are in no desperation to sell their stock. And even right now at $5 per share, NIO stock is still extremely undervalued, all right? NIO stock should be at least $15 per share in terms of fair value, in my personal opinion. I mean, like last year, summer, it was at $15 per share. Right now, you can still buy it for a third of the price. And some shorts are still jumping in right now. That's absolutely insane. And some longs are still not buying right now. That's absolutely insane. And going back to the valuation, it's still a tenth of the valuation back from when it was at 2021, right? In 2021, it was at $60+ per share, right? Now, $5 a share, it's still only a tenth of the valuation from back then. It is still extremely, extremely, extremely undervalued, all right? So if we apply a fair value to NIO stock, there's just so much more room for the upside for NIO stock to go. And why did I share those swapping stats? 100,000 swaps per day. That's to emphasize that how big of a company this is, all right? This is not like a nitty bitty small company that doesn't sell any cars that are about to die out. No, they are absolutely massive. One swap every second. That is very difficult for most people to comprehend. And still, there's way too many people overly pessimistic on this stock. There's still way too many shorts trying to sell that anti-China narrative. The mainstream media always painting a bad picture about China, pushing China down, pushing NIO down. But you look at deliveries, they're doing absolutely fantastic. 15,000 deliveries. How fantastic is that? And NIOs are incredibly expensive. They're so freaking expensive, NIO's vehicles, all right? So their achievement is spectacular. I think their market share actually grew in the luxury EV segment. So EVs above 300,000 RMB, I'm pretty sure their market share is more like 50+% now. So that's absolutely spectacular. NIO is a behemoth, and I always maintain that aspect that NIO is never gonna go bankrupt because they are so damn valuable. There will always be someone willing to invest in NIO. The Chinese government will not let NIO go down. All right, and NIO has so much tech and stuff. Their cars are the safest, amongst the safest. They are amongst the most luxurious here in China. And for the first time ever, you have a company that can sort of put themselves at the echelons compared to Apple. All right, it's one of the tech leaders in the country. All right, NIO's making their own chips. How spectacular is that? No other automaker is capable of doing what NIO is doing. All right, with their 5 nanometer chip, that thing itself is worth a lot of money. All right, and NIO being in China, and China being a country that's really deprived of chips, this is something that's very, very, very important to China. So, hands down, 100%, NIO will not go belly up. All right, NIO is a company that will not go belly up. The chip is worth a ton. The R&D is worth a ton. The infrastructure is worth 5 tons. All right, the swap station infrastructure. So that I am definitely not worried about. Any cheap prices is just a good load up period. Anything under 10 is just a bargain in my personal opinion. All right, enough babbling. Let's squeeze those shorts. All right, anybody that shorted today, they're screwed for tomorrow. Anybody shorting tomorrow, they're screwed for the day after tomorrow. All right, as always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.